Hey, das sind Witches, das ist Quatsch, das ist nicht wahr. Hey, Witch, der so an der Show.
The worldwide phenomenon, Taco Show.
No, that was the wrong hand.
What?
You screwed it up.
I lose then.
Welcome to Attack the Show. TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. I'm Allison Hayslip.
It's true.
Who are you?
And I'm Chris Hardwick. Thank you. Kevin and Olivia are on special assignment.
Hey, look, art.
Whoa! Hey! Who could miss those robots when we have museum, gift store, quality art right in front of us?
I'm just kind of stoked that David's dong is out there.
Well, it is arty. Wow, that is an uncarved sausage, as it were.
It really is. It's very sleek.
I realize.
His
Wait,
abs.
that's how they're supposed to look? Oh, no!
His abs have more definition than all
Those are 300 abs, and yet he looks upset by the whole, I'm so tired of this gorgeous dong that I have.
He does have fantastic hair. He has fantastic hair.
It's art, people! It's art! Oh, but if I take off my clothes, it's gross. Fine, I get it.
Because you don't look like that.
I kind of do, actually.
Let's not find that out. All right, on the show today, Point and Shoot Week continues. Yay! Point and shoot. Big Gag Project aimed at Canon's new digital camera. It's got optical image stabilization and an LCD screen that you tap on to autofocus. Fun. And then we've got an iPhone rumor roundup in the loop. New features, new models, but most importantly, is the iPhone coming to Verizon this summer?
Down, boy! Plus, everyone's favorite little reptile lover returns when Jeremy's Dragon Corner investigates Dragon Jesus. Part 2. Wait, there was a part 1?
Yes. It was like
Did
2
I
weeks
miss it?
ago.
All right. Well,
I pay attention to these
Then
things.
logically there's a part 2.
Yes.
Also, it's DV Newsday. Chris Moore, Passive Judgment on Sherlock Holmes, I Sell the Dead, and The Men Who Stare at Goats, which is also the name of its own porn parody.
That's convenient.
It really is.
And really helpful.
What's going on now?
I think we're going to run down the top 5 things on the web.
Yeah, that's good. Let's do it around the net.
I like it.
In at number 5 today, a fat dad rides a skateboard.
Do we really need to say more?
No. I bet you didn't see that ending coming.
Nope. Neither did he.
All right.
Oh, that was, I don't even know how he got over there that fast.
That's the fastest he's ever moved in his life. Guess right there.
All right, and today at number 4, YouTuber Andy Refeld remixes some metal.
Now, you may be familiar with Metallica's dark, brooding molestation anthem, Enter Sandman.
But the smooth jazz version splashes a little more sunshine around.
Smooth Jazzica. By the way, that Metallica gives away its music online for free and signs autographs for anyone who asks.
Yeah, and that frontman James Hetfield is fireproof, and they can all fly. It's a magical world.
He caught on fire. Today's number 3 item is a commercial for Japanese food, so you know it's not going to make any sense.
Yeah, it's for Nissin brand instant noodle cup called Milk Seafood Noodle, which just sounds horrible. However, in this commercial, the soup is made either more or less awful with the help of 2 costume food product aliens.
Thanks, Japan!
ある雪景色の美しい昼下がり、ミルクシーフードを食べようとするスーザン。そこへ、チーズ星人、ペッパー星人容器に現れる。チチチチチチチチチチペペペペペペペペペチチチチ
soup with pepper and cheese.
Thanks, aliens?
Is that what you have to do? Oh, my tuta!
And then 9 months later, cheese baby. There it is.
With peppered hair.
Little cheese baby with pepper hair.
So cute. Speaks Japanese.
Yep.
Coming in at number 2 today is a stage performance of Brian De Palma's 80 gangster classic Scarface.
I love Brian De Palma. This is the movie where Al Pacino learned to yell all his lines, and you'll never think of it the same after you see it being performed by kids.
You do coke and you kill people. That's wonderful, Tony. I got a funny joke for a wife. You son of a bee! I was so polluted. I can't have a funny little baby with her. I'm leaving you, mother fudger. Okay, son, you want to fudge with me? You fudge you the best. Wanna play with? Say hello to my little friend. Take that, you cockroaches.
You get the juice, and you get the power, then you get the nuts! Then you get the stinking nuts! You can take me, you motherfuckers! I'm still standing! I'm still standing for you!
Can I come back now?
You can't come back now!
You son of a bee!
Still ahead, science!
We'll take you to the hole in the ground where Europe keeps all its fanciest doomsday devices. Stick around!
Did I shoot you?
Well, you might have.
It's a great day for science! Because earlier today, the Large Hadron Collider became fully aware. I mean armed and operational.
Thank goodness. And you'll note the world did not get engulfed by a black hole. Yet, there is still time. Still definitely time.
What actually happened this morning is pretty complicated, but in layman's terms, machine on now! Science good!
And in case you were wondering what large groups of physicists look like when something exciting happens, then you're really going to enjoy today's number 1 item.
Just a month to get something. Now
There's some
adjustment. We did a large adjustment, but now we need really to adjust together.
There's more applause in the control room.
We don't know who exactly for what.
Yes! Awesome! Awesome! Oh, man.
Okay,
Freaking out.
that was underwhelming.
What are you talking about? For scientists, this is the equivalent of Mardi Gras without all the nudity. This is really exciting for me too, Allison.
How is that possibly exciting? Do you own stock in hadrons or something?
No, not yet. But now that the science behind the Large Hadron Collider has been proven, that means that my Lil Hadron Collider should work too. The Lil Hadron Collider.
All right. There is no way this is an actual instrument of science.
Oh, but it is, non-believer. If my calculations are correct, I can now use this collider to teleport a bottle of champagne to the scientists working at the Large Hadron Collider.
Well, okay, hold on. Isn't it just built to smash particles together? I mean, I don't think those guys have worked out matter transport yet. I think we gotta worry about that.
Prepare for science!
Oh my god.
Oh, here we go. Something's happening. Oh, dear Lord.
It got me! This cannot be good, Chris!
In somebody.
It's not good!
Why does this keep happening?
Okay, tell you what. Let us never speak of Little Hadron Collider again, okay?
Well, it's not like you knew this guy.
How do you know?
Well, I don't know.
He's missing his finger.
That could have happened before.
All right, whatever. To get your daily viral fix and check out all the viral videos we have to offer, stop talking to David. Go to g4tv.com/surroundthenet. That's really creepy. You're like extra creepy today.
I've been bad.
What did you eat before you did the show today?
I don't know. Do you want to move on to the next thing?
Crazy pills?
Sure.
All right. Let's check out technology that actually works. How about that?
And we're pointing and shooting like lone gunmen in Gadget Prom. Oh, hello, I didn't change.
You didn't. Can we shoot the floor, though? Can we shoot that? Look at how much. There's like random pounds of ground beef all over the studio.
Right there are piles of some of the world's finest minds.
That's disgusting.
Right there on the ground.
Let's talk about cameras, shall we? We got a Cameron by Canon.
Autofocus by iPhone.
What?
What do you get when you combine an innovative touchscreen with trusted image quality? Why, the Canon SD3500 digital camera. With optical image stabilization and smart auto mode, snapping photos is as easy as point and shoot. And to simplify it even more, its 3.5-inch touch LCD lets you tap to autofocus or hit the body for a slideshow. Pick one up for $330.
They just cleaned up 6 pounds of ground beef in 30 seconds.
Floor meat.
All right, all week long we are showing off some new point-and-shoot cameras, and this time, this one is the largest one we're going to see. It's about 4 inches across. It's just under an inch thick. It's a bit bigger than most cameras you're used to. So do you think the size is going to get in the way when you're trying to carry it around?
I like the design of it. It's got kind of a nice little aerodynamic curve to it. If you can
does.
See that little curve right there?
Very aerodynamic for when I throw it around.
Exactly, when you throw it at people. But it slides in and out of your pocket really easily, which is, I assume where you're going to keep a camera, so that's pretty cool.
I keep mine in my purse. See, that's the difference between boys and girls.
You're a girl.
Oh, great. Lens error will shut down automatically. Fantastic. All right, so last time Canon tried the touchscreen, it was kind of a mess. So have they improved on it at all?
Thank God they have, Allison Hayes. It's much more responsive, and it acts the way you'd expect it to, which is that it works. You tap on your subject to autofocus right there. Now, there's also these tactile controls, like tapping. It came from the Hadron Collider. Tapping the camera to start a slideshow, and then you can actually tilt it to move to the next image, which is fun if you like tilting things on different axes. Overall, the experience is much better.
I wish I could show you what the camera's doing right now, because I'm trying to autofocus on Andy, and all it will do is autofocus on his crotch. It will not find his face for some reason. Anyway.
Well, someone should be looking down there for him.
What's wrong with this camera?
Even if it's just a piece of technology.
All right, so they added a few features like creative effects and crotch finder, apparently.
That's right. We call that wiener detection.
It's got smile shutter and wink detection, which means it takes a picture when you smile or wink. In addition to all the normal stuff, do they work as well? I don't know how many people wink when you take a picture of them.
Douches do.
There you go.
What's up? Douche detection. For the most part, look, effects like fisheye and miniature are fun to have, and they really do add value. Most of the time,
that looks awesome. I think.
Yeah. I mean, the effects on digital cameras a lot of times are kind of worthless. I got to be honest. So
are they?
I think that's great. Smile shutter works like a charm, but the wink timer has real trouble detecting whether or not you're closing your eye, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. You can see him trying to wink right there. It's not catching it at all, and he's really going for it.
Maybe Danny just sucks at winking.
He really does.
Maybe they had it on crotch finder instead.
That could have been the problem.
All right. So most importantly, was Canon able to make the pictures look just as good as all their previous point and shoots, or do these?
They were pretty close. No, they were pretty close. Normal light pictures have a lot of detail and accurate colors, but they don't really pop the way that we're used to seeing. And low light pictures are good too, but occasionally you get a little too much soft noise or soft focus. But most of the time the images are clear. The images are all right most of the time.
It will not focus on a face. It focuses on everything around it. I don't get it. All right,
my God, I'm a vampire.
$330, which is expensive for a point and shoot, especially one that won't focus on faces. So what are we going to give it?
Well, we're going to give it a 3 out of 5. The camera is good in many respects, but the super high price and barely above average image quality, and then the problems with face detection, I don't know. You're really going to have to decide for yourself on that. I think it's medium range.
All right. Now, people, don't forget about G-Cycle. G-Force plan to reduce e-waste. Visit gcycle.org to find local places to ditch your old electronics. Still ahead, iPhone rumors and updates in the loop. Please come to Verizon. Please.
Yes, and later we're going to play Buy, Rent, or Pass with Mr. Chris Gore. He's going to be here reviewing Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes and I Sell the Dead. Please stick around.
This amateur freerunner is trying to make a leap from fence to fence. What happens next? Does he barely make it over? Does he land right on the fence? Or does he slip and fall off before making the leap? Find out when we return. This amateur freerunner is trying to make a leap from fence to fence. What happens next? Does he barely make it over? Does he land right on the fence? Or does he slip and fall off before making the leap? And that, kids, is how you break your ribs.
The news never sleeps.
But Kristen Adams never met a nap she didn't like, huh?
Kristen!
What? Whoa. It's time to start the feed. I feel refreshed. It's Tuesday, March 30th, and here are your top stories. There have been a flurry of iPhone rumors over the last 24 hours. Yesterday, we told you a new iPhone model will be coming to Verizon this summer. Today, all right, pause for applause. Today, we're hearing the new handset may also work on Sprint's wireless network. We also have juicy details from Daring Fireball's John Gruber that the new iPhone models will include an upgraded processor, a second front-facing camera for video chat, a new longer form factor, and a display with twice the resolution of the iPhone 3G. I know. We'll have more on all these rumors later in the loop. Despite our best efforts, the universe is still here. After 16 years, 2 false starts, $10 billion, and misplaced fears that it would end the universe, the Large Hadron Collider is finally up and running. Earlier today, scientists at the CERN facility accelerated 2 protons up to 99% of the speed of light before smashing them together in hopes of better understanding the formation of the universe. Due to problems found during failed startups in the fall, the particles are only being accelerated up to half their intended energy levels of 14 trillion electron volts. CERN currently plans to run experiments at this energy level for the next 18 to 24 months before shutting the LHC down for maintenance and repairs. And I have absolutely no idea what I just said in that story. If you've been downloading independent movies via BitTorrent, you could soon be having a very bad day. According to THR.com, a company called the U.S. Copyright Group is going after 50,000 people for downloading mediocre movies like Far Cry and Call of the Wild in 3D via BitTorrent. One unnamed ISP has already caved, giving up the identities of 71 of those BitTorrenters. The U.S. Copyright Group is currently sending out settlement letters and asking those downloaders to pay an unspecified amount of money or they'll be sued. Based on the responses in the studio, no one here is a BitTorrenter. So far, most other ISPs are refusing to hand over their subscribers' identities, but if you wind up on the receiving end of one of those letters, call a lawyer or contact the Electronic Frontier Foundation at EFF.org or just leave the country. We'll be following this story as it develops. Forget hybrids, we've got details on the first all-electric vehicle to hit the general market. The Nissan Leaf will be sold as widely as the Prius, which is a first for an all-electric car. However, it will have a slightly higher price tag than your average hybrid. The Leaf will cost $32,780, but thankfully, buyers will be able to apply for a $7,500 tax credit, which drops the price to around $25,000 bucks. But on the downside, you'll also have to buy a $750 charging station to install in your garage and fork over $2,000 bucks to get it professionally installed. But on the other hand, you'll never have to buy gas again. So I don't know. You weigh it out. And finally, zombie fans have something to celebrate. AMC, the channel with acclaimed programs like Breaking Bad and Mad Men, has greenlit 6 episodes of The Walking Dead. Yay! The zombie survival saga is based on Robert Kirkman's cult comic book, and the pilot will be written and directed by Shawshank Redemption Helmer Frank Darabont. I don't know if I said that right. Forgive me if I didn't. Rumors are floating that actor Johnny Lee Miller will be starring as lead character Rick Grimes. But so far, AMC has denied that the role has been cast. The Walking Dead will appear on TV near you in October. I'm Kristen Adams, and you've just been fed. Back to my nap.
The iPhone. You love it. I love it. Yet with AT&T service issues, you can't always use it. Is that about to change in a big, huge way? Yup, it is. It's The Loop. Joining me from Mountain View, California to help make sense of it all is editor for Gizmodo, my buddy Jason Chen. Hey, man, how's it going?
Great. Good to be here.
Chen, you have a gorgeous background there. What a view.
I know. It's nice in the hills.
All right, down to business. The Wall Street Journal has reported on not only a new iPhone later this year, but new carriers as well. I mean, are they jumping on the rumor bandwagon early, or does this actually seem legit?
I think it does seem legit. The Journal has a big credibility store for rumors. they're usually right with them. They're usually confirmed by 2 or more people. So I think it's not so much a bandwagon jump, more as this is actually going to happen soon.
Maybe it's just a couple guys at the Journal are like, maybe we just say it's going to happen, they'll just do it. Like, you just like try to pressure them into doing it. I mean, do you believe that that this phone for Verizon or Sprint, I mean, are they going to get the iPhone finally, or what? Are we going to get the CDMA iPhones?
I think so, and I think talks are going on right now. Apple has a bad tendency of talking to people but then backing out at the last second, maybe a week before the announcement. So even though Verizon could be like 99% of the way there, it could be 1 week before the iPhone announcement this June, where they say, okay, no, it's just going to be AT&T again. I mean, because but it's likely though.
I mean, some of the stuff that I was reading, and I can understand why Apple was with AT&T for so long. I read that Apple gets like $600 for every iPhone that's sold from AT&T, which is crazy. So, I mean, you know, are they going to lose money by jumping ship and maybe not getting as much, or are they going to blow up their subscriber base by going to Verizon?
I think it's kind of two-parted. One is AT&T has been backing off in terms of how much they've been paying out to Apple. The second part is Verizon is starting to pay for phones more. If you remember a couple years ago, they would have really, really lousy phones and depend on, oh, we have the best network. You should come to us no matter how crappy our phones are.
Yeah.
But right now, they've been saying, okay, now we're going to advertise the Droid. Now we're going to bring the Nexus 1 on. So now they have the gumption of, okay, we should pay for the iPhone just to even the odds a little bit with AT&T.
Well, now some people are actually speculating that the newest model of the iPhone, which they announced around June, which is their iPhone announcement cycle, that could still be exclusive to AT&T. Do you think that AT&T may get a better phone than the others will? I'm just imagining that moment where Steve Jobs comes out and he either doesn't mention Verizon or he's like, and it'll be available on AT&T, and then everyone just rushes the stage and starts beating him against the stage like a beached whale and a seal. Do you think that's going to happen?
It's tough to say. I think AT&T will definitely get the best version, only because AT&T runs on GSM, and so does the rest of the world. So it doesn't make sense for Apple to not make a GSM version of their best phone. Whether Verizon will also get that phone is kind of up to how much they really want it. If Verizon is willing to pay what Apple wants, they can, okay, we'll make a CDMA version of this along with our GSM version for everybody else.
Well, let's talk about the new phone, because at CTIA we saw some amazing stuff like the Evo that's coming out that's mind-blowing. What do you make of the reports for the new iPhone of a better CPU, 960 by 640 display, HD video, a front-facing camera? I mean, is this just part of the same rumor mill we've been hearing, or do you think these are legitimately coming down the pipeline?
I think it'll come, but I don't think it'll come all at once. But the deal is, I don't think Apple will ever dump all their new technology into one phone. They've been kind of trickling out ever since the first iPhone. Oh, this is a better camera. This is a little faster. Blah blah blah. They won't dump all their weapons into one load, I guess. They'll kind of do it year by year. Wait for the competitors to catch up, and then leapfrog them again, and then catch up, and then do the same thing. This is kind of wish fulfillment. People have been writing rumors a long time, so you got to be wary of something that looks too good, because Apple rumors never turn out to be exactly what people have been expecting.
Isn't it the thing, like, we as consumers build up the mythology so much that Apple can never possibly live up to everything that people want, and people always complain, but they still keep cranking out, you know, cool stuff. I mean, just off the top of your head, one feature that you think might be there that I didn't mention before? Anything you can think of?
Multitasking is one big one. We've been hearing rumors about Apple finally jumping on multitasking. I don't think it'll be like the Droid, like the Palm Pre, where you can run anything at any time, switch between apps like that. It'll be more like one app where you can, say, fire up Pandora and listen to your music while you're checking your email or checking your Twitter or whatever. Or just having something in the background where you can switch to it quickly but not have, say, 5 browser windows open.
Okay. Cool. Well, listen, thank you so much, Jason Chen. It's always great to see you. Jason Chen from Gizmodo, everybody, keeping us in the loop. Well, let's go over to Allison Hayslip.
The thought of the iPhone on Verizon makes me so happy. You know what else makes me happy? Jeremy's Dragons. Yeah, our resident AOTS knight, Sir Jeremy, knows a thing or two about dragons. Today, we learn about the first miracle of Dragon Jesus.
The Gospel of Dragon Jesus sure is awesome. But most don't even know the first miracle performed by the Dragon Lord. Luckily, I kind of remember it. Shortly after his birth from the present Razor Collins, assisted by Sir Ian McKellen, Dragon Jesus set out to perform great works. When he was 12 years old, Dragon Jesus went to the wedding of his friend, Destructron. Destructron's wedding was pretty sweet, but there was almost nothing to drink except for mead and grape soda. Dragon Jesus was pissed, so he excused himself to the bathroom where he invented whiskey. The whiskey saved the wedding, and everyone rejoiced.
And the Lord did say, everybody shake that ass.
Then Dragon Jesus ate the wedding party and set fire to their land, which still burns to this day. The moral of this scripture? Never hang out with Dragon Jesus. He's kind of a dick.
Jeremy's Dragon Corner. But right now it's time for another Thing We Found on the Internet That Was Interesting.
What? Internet and that got really quick all of a sudden.
It did.
We need to get our cadence down.
All right.
All right, today we bring you Peanut Butter Man.
You know that scene in the James Bond movie Goldfinger where the lady dies because she's covered in gold dust?
Yeah.
I would prefer that death to expiring dressed as Peanut Butter Man. P.S. I think somehow masturbation was involved. So throw that out there.
All right, go away because it's time to attack this recycled geek chic stuff.
Bye.
Bye. Hard drives. You wouldn't think they'd have much use beyond storing data. Who knew they'd make great clocks, too? Well, at least a crafty Russian thought so and made this digital hard drive clock. Made from an old drive and some small LED panels, this clock uses a simple stroboscopic effect to display the time. This wondrous piece of Russian ingenuity is DIY, so download the schematic, grab a bottle of vodka, and build your own. Try not to hurt yourself. But hard drives aren't the only piece of computing tech getting a second chance at life. Check out this QWERTY bench. Yes, QWERTY bench. Dreamt up by designer Nolan Herbutt. Herbutt. This form-fitting stool is covered in over 2,000 individual QWERTY keys. And yes, they actually press down and click to mimic a real computer keyboard. We're not quite sure what sensation that would provide, but we think it's probably akin to climbing the rope in gym class. And finally, what's the one thing your house is missing? Beyond the stripper pole and the hot tub. I get it. It is a beer bottle chandelier, of course, available in 8 varieties. These fantastic pieces of interior design are the perfect way to say, hey, look, alcoholics can be artistic too. But they're a bit pricey, people. They're at least a couple hundred a piece, but nothing's stopping you from making your own. Well, besides the alcohol. That's the problem. Head on over to g4tv.com/AOTS for info on all of this geek chic and more. Stay tuned. The editor-in-chief of IO9 will teach us about amphibious moths, and the CubeSail, a satellite that collects space debris, and Blogwatch. And in space, it's
First up, we have Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, I really like this. You saw it, right?
Yes, I did, of course.
I highly enjoyed Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. I thought they were fantastic together.
Yes. Yeah, it's like they had a man crush on each other.
I had a girl crush on both those men.
Oh, well, then it's perfect for you.
So exactly. So what did you think of Guy Ritchie's take on our classic character?
I love the idea of Iron Man going back to the past without his suit and solving crimes with Jude Law. I think it's a great plot for a movie. But, you know, a lot of people complain, the purists are like, this isn't really a Sherlock Holmes film. Look, it's Guy Ritchie's take. I think it's a lot of fun. There's sex, great violence. The fight scenes are amazing.
They really are.
Really
I thought the only weak part I thought was Rachel McAdams. Wasn't crazy about her in the film.
Only because you're a chick and you wish it was you. You wish you were in the film.
But no, I just didn't think her character added much to it. Plus, they said she was from Jersey, and she was so not from Jersey.
You would know. You would know for sure.
Totally know.
Yeah.
So, okay, so how are the special features?
Special features are great. I mean, there's a lot of behind the scenes. I mean, that's pretty much all it is. There's no commentary. There's no, crimes to solve on the disc. You're just looking at the behind the scenes. What was interesting was Robert Downey Jr. talking about working on his accent. He worked on that as much as he did the fight. On his abs and his accent. Yeah. But he worked a lot on his accent, which actually, he'd done Chaplin before, which he was nominated for an Oscar. So, I mean, he really wanted to pay attention to that detail and keep it different from Tony Stark, which I appreciate. But I like the idea of this being a special issue of Marvel Comics, a strange tale where Tony Stark goes back in time.
There you go. All right, so what's the bottom line?
Bottom line is rent it, a lot of fun, you won't be disappointed, and they're already working on the sequel.
They are?
Yeah, they are. They're already working on the sequel.
More Jude Law and Robert Downey Jr.? That makes
You don't have to pick a team with that.
All right, next DVD. It's not going to have nearly as many attractive men.
Next DVD is I Sell the Dead.
I don't know this at all.
Yeah. Well, it's an indie horror film with Dominic Monaghan, Ron Perlman, great cast actually, and it's sort of it's like these old Hammer films from the 60s and 70s.
To them,
yeah, or like EC Comics, like these tales of basically these two guys who go out and they steal corpses, but a lady gets involved and comes between the two of them.
She always does.
Yeah, well, that's one of the plots that run through. It's almost like a collection of shorts because they keep telling stories within stories within stories, which I think is really clever.
And it seemed like they had extreme close-ups of hobbits.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so how are the audio commentaries?
There's two commentaries, one with the director, one with Dominic Monaghan and actor-producer Larry Fessenden. But the cool thing is Dominic Monaghan talks about a buddy of his who's missing a foot.
What? Really?
And they had this scene where they have a zombie in the movie that has no foot.
And it's his buddy?
And it's his buddy got to play this zombie. And he tells the story about how his buddy lost his foot running on the beach at night, and his foot fell into a hole and ripped his foot clean off. But you know what? You get some lemons, you make some lemonade. He got to play a footless zombie in I Sell the Dead. I think that's a good thing.
But now you just gave away the best part of the audio commentary.
Well, the best part of the that's one of the best parts of the commentary. I like commentary for those kind of weird stories that no one will know or remember but me.
But you. All right, now, so what's the bottom line on this one?
Bottom line is rent it, a lot of fun, very gory, too. Very good.
All right, so what else are we looking at?
The Men Who Stare at Goats.
I really wanted to see this, and I haven't yet. So this is a film that's based on real events, right?
Yeah, it's actually based on a book this reporter wrote going to the Middle East, where he ran into a guy who's part of a special division. This is absolutely true. A special division of our military, U.S. military, that focused on alternative ways to wage war. Things like using mind control, manipulation, moving objects. They even talk about in the film, and they talk about having like Jedi-like powers.
Really?
Yeah. So
there are lots of midichlorian in them.
There's no. Anybody can be a Jedi in this world.
That's fantastic.
But they talk about that they actually put a lot of money into research to develop these special super soldiers, and it's kind of ridiculous and funny.
All right.
It's more of a comedy than it is action. An action comedy.
I like those. What's the bottom line?
Bottom line is rent it, a lot of fun, and it's good to see you and McGregor in a Jedi-like movie.
It's always good to see you and McGregor in any movie. I'm whatever this. I really like men, apparently. All right, we're out of time. Quick pick, go.
Quick pick. Yes, The Killer, one of John Woo's best. It's out on Blu-ray. Do not miss it. Love this film.
And it looks beautiful, and it's got another cute guy on the front.
Blu-ray.
All right, before we go, you're going to be at WonderCon this weekend, right? San Francisco?
That's right. This weekend, I'm going to be signing at the G4 booth on Saturday. Blair Butler will be signing there on Sunday.
Of course you will.
Check out g4tv.com/WonderCon for more info. We're bringing sexy to San Francisco, Blair and I. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I don't know if San Francisco is missing sexy, but I'm glad you're bringing more.
Actually, I know certain parts where you can go. I'll tell you later.
All right, right now, let's find out what's happening in the House of Hardwick.
All right, here's something that I got today. My buddy Rob Zombie, not trying to drop a name, but it's pertinent to the story. He sends me this thing, and he's like, hey, check out this tattoo this guy put on his arm of you. Whoa! And it's my character from House of a Thousand Corpses, my death scene. Wow. There it is right there. It's on my website, nerdist.com, if you want to take a closer look. But and then so I go, did you get this guy's name? And Rob writes back, no, and he said he was going to hunt you down and eat you, ... I hope he was joking. So if I don't turn up next week, look for me in biker poop. And now, in non-body art news, here's what's happening at one of our favorite sci-fi blogs, IO9. It's time for Blog Watch.
Every day, the line between science fiction and science fact gets a little fuzzier. Our friends at io9.com have mined through all the crap to bring you the succulent, nerdy goodness of the internets. We recently caught up with their matriarch.
I'm Annalee Newitz. I'm the editor-in-chief of io9.com.
And picked her brain about what's been tearing up IO9. First order of business was the development of an Orbital garbage truck.
So one of the big problems now that people, I think, are perhaps not aware of is that the Earth is surrounded by about 5,000 tons of space junk. Those are in orbit around the planet, and they're dangerous for space missions and also for people on the planet if they crash to Earth. So this group of British scientists came up with an idea for a special small satellite that would be solar powered called the CubeSail. And it would basically be a garbage collector satellite. When it gets to space, it unfurls its solar sail, attach itself to one of these burned out satellites, and actually guide it to just burn up harmlessly in the atmosphere. Because it's so cheap and easy to launch, it could be a really good solution to the space junk problem.
What better way to follow up intergalactic garbage bags than with bugs?
Dude! Oh my god, I'm so excited about the amphibious moth.
Dude, us too! Tell me more.
There's this group of researchers in Hawaii who found the only known living creature that is completely amphibious. This is a moth which in its caterpillar stage can choose to spend its entire caterpillar life underwater. Once they're born, they jump into one of these streams, use their silk to attach themselves to sort of the rocky edge of the stream, and just kind of float along in the water. The thing that's so exciting about these guys is that they really are the only known life form, other than Aquaman, who can exist their whole lives either underwater or out of water. They're basically, the first step toward creating superhumans who can live underwater. WonderCon is coming up this Friday, April 2nd, and it'll go through the weekend. If you want to come out and say hello to the IO9 people, we're having a meetup on Friday night. That's at 111 Minna, which is very near the convention center. It'll be free and open to the public. You don't have to be registered at WonderCon to come and say hi to me and a couple of other IO9 writers and a bunch of other folks. So come on out.
We rock IO9.
And we also love Ninja Warrior.
Hey, if you like seeing people trying to do amazing things and then failing and becoming injured, mark your calendars because April 10 and 17, G4 brings you all new episodes of Ninja Warrior. But wait a minute, the best part, it's in HD for the very first time.
Yeah, April 10th, I kick things off with a half-hour preview followed by a Ninja Warrior marathon featuring a shocking twist affecting a beloved all-star. Then April 17th, hold on to your seats and witness Ninja's history-making finale.
There is a website that might be pertinent to those interests that we were talking about. Let's say it's g4tv.com/Ninja Warrior.
I think we should say that.
All right.
Because that's what it said.
Done.
All right. Still ahead, an epic fail from the Jersey Shore. The actual place, not the TV show.
Prepare to toss your cannoli in just a minute.
There is an actual place, the Jersey Shore.
What?
This portion of Attack of the Show is brought to you by the all-new G4 Store. Gear up at g4tv.com/G4 Store. Coming up tomorrow on an all-new AOTS. Rob Corddry from Hot Tub Time Machine will be here live in studio to share his omnipresent knowledge of time travel. Then, Point and Shoot Week continues in Gadget Prawn with a waterproof Casio. And Blair Butler serves up an exclusive fresh ink about a new character debuting in the Marvel Universe. Excelsior! See you tomorrow!
Don't wake him up!
What?
Don't wake him up! That's his job, to sleep. He doesn't guard, he sleeps.
There's not a lot of people in that museum. I gotta be honest.
Why don't you try to walk into it again?
What?
Why don't you try to walk into it again?
I almost didn't get out of Buckingham Palace yesterday.
It was chaos. Those guards were doing a really good job.
They were doing
keeping
some
you
real
in there.
nice work.
All right, time for today's epic fail.
And brace yourself, because today's fail is extra awful.
Yeah, YouTube poster Pisano Records has created an original musical composition called From Chooch to Gooch. I said that wrong.
I don't want to know what those refer to. The recipe is simple. Add 1 part disco.
1 part awkward dancing.
And 1 part horrible Italian stereotypes.
Hey, how you doing?
This one goes out to all y'all who long for the days of the mirror ball. Gonna show you what it takes to shake the dushko, grab an apple off the tree and throw it in a bushel. You can variate this one if you choose. This is how you knock the strings off your shoes. Classic disco, capiche? Then you'll be able to tune it when you're at the beach.
Are those really stereotypes? Oh, Italians, those apple-picking beach walkers. My mother's Italian, and I've never known that to be a stereotype.
Same. I'm still unsure what Chooch and Gooch are.
I don't know.
I did not figure that out.
Is that a Milli Vanilli cover band?
It would be a good one.
Chooch and Gooch?
Someday, and that day may never come, Bobby will call upon you to do a service for him.
Be in his super crappy music video. Show today.
Super fun. We had artwork.
A little Hadron Collider.
We had a little Hadron Collider. We had Deep Tuesday with Chris Moore.
Jason Chen was here from Gizmodo. We talked Kristen Adams.
If you want to see all those things, go to d4tv.com/AOTS.
But right now, X-Play starts, so watch it. Good night.
Oh man, lots of ground beef.
Here we go.